Hello and welcome. The Permanent now provides exceptionally accurate guidance to spiritual awakening and enlightenment, crafted by a living Buddha. An Awaken. Your most accurate self is pure awareness bliss. Unveil this in the Permanent now. Fritz, his game of hide and seek, Part 1. At its most fundamental level, the entire human species is searching for a way into happiness and connection, or searching for a way out of suffering and into connection. This searching is the game of hide and seek. The following is a simplification of Fritz's game of hide and seek. This life is not better or worse, and not filled with more or less grace than any other life. Due to a great sense of constant loneliness, I began focusing on my mind as who I was, around 2nd grade, from 6 to 7, when I accepted mentally talking to myself as normal. Thus, for most of my life, I was deeply entrenched in my mind and so deeply identified with things I created, which were 99+% living in the illusory reality of future consciousness. Around 15, I began feeling and sensing an increasing drive to get out of an increasing level of mental suffering I felt from within. I was aware of my mental suffering, and most importantly, I was aware I wanted to find a way out of my mental suffering. I did not want to hold on to it like a badge of honor, the way I witnessed so many humans do, or deny the reality of having mental suffering, which everyone else did. I never understood why mental suffering was a thing. This is when I started the search to end my mental suffering, out there, in another. I constantly looked for happiness and connection in another. I tried to get out of mental suffering by doing. In no particular order of importance, some of my outward doings were: at 12 I began working 7 days a week delivering newspapers. At 14 I quit my paper route and forged my birth certificate so I could grow up by working at a national fast food hamburger chain. The next summer I took summer school to advance into another honors class in high school. When I turned 16, I worked a summer of road construction in Texas. 2 broken arms, several broken ribs, a separated clavicle, 3 entrepreneurial ventures, the search for positive relationships, approval from people I admired, more than a handful of surgeries before graduating college, a top degree from a top university, a lot of nicotine, a lot of work, a lot of alcohol, promotions with increasing responsibility, marriage, 2 entrepreneurial ventures, chasing money, clinically diagnosed depression, and divorce. I was a student and instructor for Dale Carnegie and Outward Bound, and an instructor for Broadreach. I went on hundreds of first dates. I have read dozens and dozens of sales and self-help books and books aimed at spirituality written by humans. I developed a lot of hobbies. I climbed 2 14,000-foot plus peak mountains in the Colorado Rockies. I lived in 14 homes in the 20 years after college, sailing to a different continent. Personal bankruptcy for financially supporting a family member after their medical crisis, and, throughout my life, I felt a certain perceived control over mental suffering when I became effective and efficient in the skill and art of helping people laugh. Some of my inward doings were: one of my top 3 internal life priorities was to keep an open heart throughout breakups, divorce, endings of friendships, the passing of pets and loved ones, several broken hearts, etc. I did not want those experiences to change, bend or break my personality, the way I witnessed this happen in others. I golden shadowed every relationship I had. From 7 until 35, I spent 30 minutes to an hour every night while in bed examining my day's actions. I had unhealthy or no family relationships. Throughout my 20s and 30s, I spoke with psychologists about my feelings and current life situation. When people snubbed me personally and professionally, I was aware it was about their internal issues, not my outward behavior. I consciously never went into my ego to get over on someone, to make me feel better, bigger, or more important. I consciously never went into relativeness within the social dynamics I had with business and social acquaintances, friends, and loved ones. Many, many, many accomplishments, with few to no successes. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I do read the comments and I do respond. Are you interested in spiritual awakening and enlightenment? And unveiling the fundamental joy, stillness, and love of existence? Are you interested in learning how to live in the now, and answering the question, who am I? And unveiling your most accurate self and living your most accurate life? If so, then get the Permanent Now, read it, apply it, and unveil your most accurate self. End the illusion of time, your individual suffering, and fear itself. And help this planet evolve out of its collective suffering and fear. All the best to you. See you in the next video.